Greetings everyone, my name is Ken and I'm a financial analyst from Regain Capital. In this video, I will be teaching you the basics and fundamentals of supports and resistance in Forex trading. So before we get started, please take some time to look and read at our risk disclaimer. Please be aware of all the risks involved in Forex trading and do take note that any information provided from this video and by Regain Capital is not an investing advice. So without further ado, let's continue with the contents for this video. So throughout the video, we will be covering on the concepts of supports and resistance, how to define them, as well as a live demonstration on how to plot resistance and support on your MetaTrader 4. So the concepts of support and resistance are the key pieces for technical analysis in the financial markets. So support can be defined as a floor which tends to limit the downward momentum for the price action when it reaches it. So when a price action reaches a support level, it will receive some sort of pressure which prevents the price action to further its downward momentum. Normally, a support is located at previous minimum level reach. Whereas for resistance, it is defined as a ceiling which tends to limit the upward momentum for price action when it reaches it. When the price action reaches its resistance level, it will receive some pressure which prevents the price action to further its upward momentum. So normally for resistance, it is located at previous maximum level reach. So supports and resistance can be interpreted as a floor or a ceiling where prices tend to oscillate, looking like a rebound and retracement that temporarily interrupts the price trend. So for example, the price action, when it reaches a support level, it tends to rebound towards the resistance level, while from the resistance level, retracing back towards its support level. So support is a price level in which a downtrend is expected to stop due to a concentration of demand. As the price of an instrument increases, the demand for the said instrument will also increase, thus forming the support line. Meanwhile, resistance zone arise due to liquidation when prices increases. Investors and traders start selling their instrument to take profit and thus creating supply zone. Once a support or resistance has been identified, it provides a valuable potential entry and exit point. This is because when the price reaches a support or resistance point, it will do one of the two things. Firstly, it will either bounce away from the support or resistance level, or second, it may violate the price level and continue in its direction until it reaches the next support or resistance level. So how do we define these supports and resistance in the market? It takes practice, just like everything else in line. After some practice, it will create the ease for being able to identify these levels with the naked eye. So resistance and support are normally plotted when there are at least 2 points at similar level, which when the price action reaches, it retraces or rebound from that level. So for now, we'll present some simple techniques on how to identify these levels with the MT4 platform that will help you all to improve your techniques and increase your confidence at identifying these levels. So over here we have the chart of CHF JPY in its daily time frame. So first of all, I would like to emphasize, I would suggest you guys to use a larger time frame, either daily or weekly, to plot the resistance and support before moving on into a H1 or a H4 chart. This is to provide a more accurate resistance and support level, as because any indicators in a larger time frame would provide a more accurate compared to a smaller time frame. So let's get started. Instead of using the bar chart, I would suggest you guys to look into the line chart over here. As for using line chart, you can easily identify the support and resistance, where you can start to find same points at similar level. For example, let's start by drawing a resistance level. So you might want to click on this draw horizontal line symbol, and then you can place somewhere that you see where there actually is a level where 2 points meet and they retrace from the resistance level. For example, we have one that is over here, we have one here, the second one, and somewhere around here is maybe the third one. So there you have it. You can easily just double click it and move it around top or bottom. So for now, I'll place it over here, close to 109.95. So next, I would like to find another resistance level where somewhere around here, where we have one over here and the next point over here. So I might pull it down a little bit, make it close to 110.65. So you might ask, the point over here and the point over here is a different. For it, over here it's actually a lower point, and for here it's actually a higher point. So one thing you need to know about resistance and support is that a support can turn into a resistance, vice versa, a resistance can turn into a support after the price action successfully breaks out from that level. So for example, over here it may seem as a support level, but after a breakout over here, we can use the support level as its resistance level for the future price action. Alright, so now that we have two resistance level, let's look for supports level. So one of it, I might want to place it over here where there is 1, 2, and 3 over here. So I might just move it, make it around 109.25. So please take note that there is no accurate level where there's a correct or wrong support and resistance, because as I said, support and resistance is more like a zone, so it doesn't have to be that accurate in terms of its price. So we have one over here, and let's plot another one right over here. So over here you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after using the line chart, we can go back into the bar chart where you can see it actually acts as a support and resistance zone, where over here we can see some rebounds from the support level, and also from the resistance level we can see a few retracement. So take note that we are in the daily chart. So let's move back into the H4 chart. So inside the H4 chart you can see a clearer view, and you can even draw more supports and resistance when you are at a smaller time frame. So over here we can actually place one. So as you can see, it used to be a resistance over here, and now it acts as support for the current price action. So for now, I'll be explaining about how to read support and resistance. So normally we would say when the price action, when it breaks above its resistance level, it will continue moving in that upward momentum. For example, over here. So over here we can see the first testing of the resistance. It actually fails to break out above, and it actually rebounds back towards its support zone. But shortly after, it rebounds from the support back to its resistance, and this time it actually managed to break above the resistance level. And after the breakout, it continues to move in an upward momentum. And for the next resistance level, around 109.95, it actually tested a few times, but it fails to provide a solid confirmation of an upward momentum. So over here you can see, since we have dropped from the daily chart, but when we move into the H4 chart, it actually doesn't look that pretty. So you can actually just easily adjust it somewhere around here, where it actually tested more accurately. So we can place it around 110.10. Yes, perfect. So over here you can see that it actually tested a few times on this resistance level. However, it failed to provide further bullish confirmation, and shortly after, it actually made a sharp retrace back towards its support line, and it breaks its support line to continue its downward momentum. So please take note that for resistance and support, we wouldn't want to rush ourselves into the market. For example, let's say we take an example over here, 110.10. It actually breaks out in this candle. We can see that it actually breaks out from the resistance level. However, my advice is to wait for the second candle after the breakout, not the first one but the second, because normally you will have cases like this where after the breakout and the first candle after the breakout, it showed an upward momentum. However, shortly after, it actually failed to continue its upward momentum and falls back below. So my advice is to wait for the second candle. If the second candle is able to continue an upward momentum, then I would suggest you to enter the market after that. However, if you can manage to wait for the second candle, you can see that this breakout is actually considered as a false breakout, where the price action fell back below its resistance level and it plays around there for a few candlesticks before falling back into resistance level. So let's say if you have entered a long position after the breakout here, you might have made some losses as it failed to continue its upward momentum. Instead, it fell back down. Alright, so the same goes for support level. You wouldn't want to enter somewhere around here when you see a breakout and then you rush into the market, into the sell market. No, I would suggest to wait the second candle after the breakout, which is over here, and you can see at the second candle it actually rebounded, providing you a false breakout or a false signal. So the safest part is examples like this: first breakout, first candle, second candle. Alright, so now you have a confirmation that it actually breaks out from the support level and you can enter a sell level over here. So some of you might ask, wouldn't it be a bit too late and wouldn't we miss some of the opportunities if we wait for the second candle? Well, here I would like you to ask back yourself whether or not you want a more solid and accurate confirmation, or would you want to enter into a market where you may have potential losses. So at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong in placing resistance and support or how to evaluate them. It all depends on what kind of trader you are and what type of risk ability you have. Alright, so that's all for the live example on the MT4.